Bernardo Bellotto, also called Canaletto, was an Italian urban landscape painter or veduttista, and printmaker and etching famous for his vedutta of European cities. He was the pupil and nephew of Canaletto and sometimes used the latter's illustrious name, signing himself as Bernardo Canaletto. In Germany and Poland, Bellotto called himself by his uncle's name, Canaletto. Bellotto's style was characterized by elaborate representation of architectural and natural vistas, and by the specific quality of each place's lighting. It is plausible that Bellotto, and other Venetian masters of vedutta, may have used the camera obscura in order to achieve superior precision of urban views. Life. Bellotto was born in Venice, the son of Lorenzo Antonio Bellotto and Fiorenza Canal, sister of the famous Canaletto, and studied in his uncle's workshop. In 1742 he moved to Rome, where he produced vedutta of that city. In 1744 and 1745 he traveled northern Italy, again depicting vedutta of each city. Among others, he worked for Charles Emmanuel III of Savoy. From 1747 to 1758 he moved to Dresden, following an invitation from King August III of Poland. He created paintings of the cities Dresden and Vienna and their surroundings. Today these paintings preserve a memory of Dresden's former beauty, which was destroyed by bombing during World War II. His international reputation grew, and in 1758 he accepted an invitation from Empress Maria Theresa to come to Vienna, where he painted views of the city's monuments. In 1761 Bellotto left Vienna for Munich, where spent almost a year. In a letter to her cousin Maria Antonia of Bavaria, Empress Maria Theresa had praised Bellotto's artistic achievements at the Viennese court. Logically, he was commissioned works by the ruling family of Bavaria. He painted a panoramic view of Munich and two vedutta of Nymphenburg Palace for the Elector of Bavaria. At the end of 1761, Bellotto returned to Dresden, when King August III of Poland, also an Elector of Saxony, who usually lived in Dresden, died in 1763. Bellotto's work became less important in Dresden. As a consequence, he left Dresden to seek employment in St. Petersburg at the court of Catherine II of Russia. On his way to St. Petersburg, however, Bellotto accepted an invitation in 1764 from Poland's newly elected King Stanislaus Augustus Poniatowski to become his court painter in Warsaw from 1768. Here he remained some 16 years, for the rest of his life, as court painter to the king, for whom he painted numerous views of the Polish capital and its environs for the royal castle in Warsaw. Complement of the greater historical paintings commissioned by Poniatowski from Marcello Bacciarelli. His initial commissions included painted decoration of the Ujazdał Castle between 1767 to 1770. Of which a study of illusionistic vault is the only preserved example of profuse decoration, lost in 1784 during the reconstruction of the castle into military barracks. In 1769 the painter and his son Lorenzo accomplished another large royal commission, 14 views of Rome, ancient and papal, based on the collection of etchings by Giovanni Battista Piranesi entitled Vedutta di Roma. The collection was dispersed in the early 19th century, and today various paintings can be admired in different museums in Russia. The Roman Forum is seen from the Capitol to the southeast, and Piazza della Rotonda with Pantheon, view of the Piazza Navona, view of S. Maria Maggiore, and in private collections. His paintings of Warsaw, 26 vedutta painted between 1770–80 to embellish the so-called panorama room at the royal castle in Warsaw and later relocated to Russia, were restored to the Polish government in 1921 and were used in rebuilding the city after its near-complete destruction by German troops during World War II. Bellotto's early work bears strong features of his uncle's style, becoming more individual and distinguished in later years with clear inspiration of Dutch landscape painting with mass clouds. cast shadows and rich foliage. His coloring is colder and characterized by a steely gray. The last period of the artist's work is assessed as distinct from the earlier stages, with emphasis on the immediacy of observation, striving for a generic treatment of staffage, ability to capture the atmosphere of the place, and visible transformation of his painting, which become more colorful with warmer tones. For the first time he also undertook historical subjects, including election of Stanislaus Augustus for the king and entry of Jerzy Ossoliński into Rome in 1633, commissioned by Joseph Maximilian Ossoliński. Bellotto created a school of painting which was later continued and developed by Zygmunt Vogel and Marcin Zaleski. Bernardo Bellotto died in Warsaw in 1780 and was buried in Capuchin Church at Maier Street. His younger brother was named Pietro Bellotto, and after collaborating with Canaletto and his brother, moved to France, where he was known as Le Sieur Canalti and Pietro Bellotti di Canalti. The brother was also referred to as Bellotti, 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 or Bellottit.